Reunited and it feels so good. Because, you know, the Avengers, they've reunited. That doesn't really work. I guess if the song was reassembled and it feels so good, then that would be better because, you know, the Avengers, they assemble and it, anyway. So since I'm sure no one has rushed out to see this movie this weekend, and you're just dying to know what I think of it so you can see if you want to go see it. No one has not seen this movie. My roommate didn't see it. So that's one guy. At this point in the Marvel universe, it's starting to feel like these movies are kind of like TV shows. I think that's just kind of the age we live in, though, where we just want our TVs and movies and franchises to just keep going and going and going. And that has its benefits, but it also has its weaknesses. And one weakness that I'm feeling is that the stakes haven't felt very high in a while. Like, I wasn't sitting through this movie going, gee, I wonder if they're gonna stop the bad guy this time. Spoiler, by the way, apparently I don't wear my glasses to the movies. So the Avengers return and they're talking more like Joss Whedon characters than they did in their own separate films. But seriously, it's gonna be really hard to make another Avengers movie as fun because he just knows how to write dialogue for these characters. And that's really the best part of this movie is when all the Avengers are just hanging out and getting to know each other and having the bro time and making plans to take down James Spader. All the fighting and explosions and boom boom, that's just icing on the ironic cake. It's a very impressive balancing act that Joss Whedon has to do here because, oh my gosh, there are so many superheroes in this movie. So Tony Downey Jr. creates AI with his buddy Bruce Banner. He kind of goes mad scientist for a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But oh no, he messes up and he ends up creating one of the most hilarious and yet nihilistic villains in Ultron. Okay, so he's not really nihilistic, he just comes up with the conclusion that in order to save the Earth, he's gonna have to destroy all of humanity. It happens. He then recruits 2 X-Men. Okay, they're not really X-Men. Okay, yes, they are really X-Men, but we're not going to talk about that in this movie. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which I had to look up on Wikipedia because I don't think they actually called them that in the movie. They are 2 mutants, I mean experiments created by Hydra. They're not mutants. I would say these 2 new characters work fairly well, but they probably could have used a bit more character development. Their motivation for wanting to kill the Avengers as well, kind of dumb. But hey, they were, you know, brainwashed. Maybe, I think. I don't know, whatever, we'll let it slide. Apparently there was a lot cut out of this movie, and I have a feeling that it had a lot to do with them. I'm not saying that it kills the movie, it probably just would have been a little bit better with it in there. But honestly, the one who steals the show is James Spader as Ultron. He is so James Spader. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not totally 100% sure that Joss Whedon didn't just write an evil version of himself. And one thing we haven't had in a Marvel movie in a while is a really, really good villain. And for me, Ultron might be a little bit better than Loki. I have a James Spader crush, let's be honest. But what a lot of people want to know is, does this movie live up to the first one? And I would say in some ways, I actually like this one a little bit better. Sure, the newness has worn off a little bit. You don't have that happy rush feeling of seeing the Avengers together for the first time. But I think this one has a better story, there's more time for character development, and there's a lot of really great funny moments, which is what I get probably the most enjoyment out of. I mean, there's only so long I can watch everybody beat up a bunch of robots before I need something funny to happen. If you've built this movie up a little too much, or you're suffering from superhero movie fatigue, this isn't gonna be something really new or refreshing for you, but it's still a really fun movie with great characters, great action, great dialogue, and robot James Spader, so I give it an A. Man, I can't wait for the next Hulk/Black Widow movie. Oh, wait. Wah, wah, wah.